Liverpool draw 1-1 with Brighton in a game where, again, VAR and refereeing decisions come into play and take centre stage more than pretty much everything else. Now, we also lose James Milner to an injury, a hamstring injury, and that doesn't look good. Looks like our injury issues are not really getting much better, with the likes of Thiago still not becoming available within the next couple of games at least. And it was a tough game today. But we thoroughly deserves all 3 points. We should have had all 3 points. I don't care who you support. I don't care who you're a fan of, whether you hate Liverpool or even whether you love Liverpool and you think that the decisions were right or anything like that. Salah's goal, I felt, should still have stood. It is beyond me how VAR is meant to go for... Alright, yeah, it is meant to go for offsides, but that is... I can barely see that. I can barely see what it's actually pointing at, like where the actual offside happens. And as people are making a mockery of it online, saying, oh, it must have been like a toenail, or, you know, Mohamed Salah's leg on his hair. Leg on his hair? Hair on his leg. Hair on his leg. It could have been the bit that was offside. We don't know. We never get an explanation. Referees never have to come out and justify their decisions. And VAR, the operators of VAR, who are also part of a refereeing team, never have to come out and explain their decisions, ever. They never have to. They cannot be questioned on it. If you question, if a manager questions a referee and the integrity of the game or their decisions in the game, or a player comes out, fines, and more fines. That's all they do. They don't have to come out and justify their decisions. Now let's get into the game a little bit as well. The first half was awful. Apart from the goal that was cancelled out by VAR for Salah's, which I still think and I still believe that was wrongly ruled out. Apart from that, I felt genuinely terrible in that game. First 5 minutes or so, we were good. After that, it was pretty much all Brighton, and Aaron Connolly was an absolute danger up front all game. Until about the second half, like when we brought Jordan Henderson on, things started to get a lot better for us. But that first half was just, you're sitting on the edge of your seat, and you're just like, they're gonna score, they will score. And I don't know what it is with Aaron Connolly, right? I'm just gonna say this straight away. No offense to the guy, and I don't mean it in an offensive way. He's starting to look like Wayne Rooney, and if he ever becomes as clinical in front of goal as Rooney was, I'm gonna seriously be worried about him. But he was such a danger to our back line. It was incredible, really, really incredible. How we got out of that first half, not having conceded. I know that they got a penalty. Malpe took it and put it wide, and he went off afterwards, just went straight down the tunnel. But even so, we go in to half-time, 0-0, and you're just thinking, right, hopefully we can get back into this game. You know, players aren't having a very good game at all, and I'm just going to go into the starting lineup of who we had. Nico Williams was at right back. Nat Phillips, who for me was head and shoulders man of the match. I know Jota got the goal, but Nat Phillips was just absolutely fantastic. Very, very, very good. Took some hard hits in this game as well. Some hard hits, some tough falls, and he got up and he still got on and did his job as well as he could. And he did it very, 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 very well, in my opinion. Fabinho, Andy Robertson, Milner, Gini Wijnaldum, Minamino, Salah, Firmino, and Jota. That's who we started with, and it didn't work. It just didn't work. Minamino was having to play a little bit deeper, sort of to cover a little bit or help out, like with Nico Williams or a couple of defensive, what is the word? Defensive responsibilities. That's what we're looking for. And it doesn't suit Minamino's game. You saw in the second half when we brought Jordan Henderson on, made a couple of changes. You know, Milner went to right back, Henderson comes into the midfield. That Minamino was able to push forward a lot more, and you started to see some bright sparks from him as well. Now, when we get into the 60th minute, Salah plays a lovely ball through to Diogo Jota, but Jota hit a shot that was really, really nice. Really, really nice. Low drive. I can't remember if it took a little bit of a deflection or not, but it was into the bottom corner. Really, really nice goal. And you're just thinking, all right, cool, we're going to be set on our way. It's 60 minutes. Still a little bit under the cosh sometimes, but we'd taken control of this game. And that is in no short way of Henderson being in front of that. Henderson coming on really helped us control the game, get on the ball, take some passes, link up some play, make some runs, keep hold of the possession. It was a much different game in the second half, and it was squarely because of Jordan Henderson and the control that he allowed us to have in midfield. Anyone that tells me Jordan Henderson's overrated, Jordan Henderson's not a good footballer, Jordan Henderson shouldn't be playing at Liverpool or anything like that, I'm telling you now, even though it was 1-1 in the end, which it shouldn't have been, it should have been a Liverpool win. Go and watch that game. Watch the first half. Look at how uncontrolled we were. Couldn't keep hold of the ball, losing second balls, not aggressive enough, not tactically astute enough at working out and outworking Brighton. And Brighton were all over us for most of that first half. Jordan Henderson steps in after half time. Control. We start to get much more control. We start to be able to apply a little bit of pressure. Start to get a little bit more forward play going, and that's where the goal comes from Jota and the assist from Salah. Not long after the goal, Salah actually got substituted. Didn't look happy about it. I can only assume that Klopp's took him off because we've got the Champions League coming up. I think it's on Tuesday against Ajax, who've had a very good game this weekend as well. So that's going to be so tough. We could be staring down the barrel of 2 straight defeats in the Champions League because they were free scoring. Really, really good. But even so, I can only assume that that's why he was taken off. Mane was brought on. Mane scored a goal in the 84th minute. He was offside. This VAR decision was correct. He was slightly offside and he scored a header. The run of it sort of made it look like he might have been offside, and it just turned out that he was offside. And we were obviously all buzzing because you're thinking, all right, cool, 2-0, great stuff, awesome stuff. And then we get to the 91st minute, which is where this incident happens between Danny Welbeck and Andy Robertson. Now, there's a little bit... I don't agree that it was a penalty. Apparently, a lot of the Brighton players have turned around and said to some of our players that they don't believe it was a penalty either. They can't believe that it was given. So, Danny Welbeck and Andy Robertson both go for the ball. The ball is literally maybe, I'd say 30 centimetres away from either player. Both of them swing a boot at it. It just so happens that the ball got deflected a little bit. Maybe Danny Welbeck got a little bit on it or someone else did. I can't remember clearly in my mind. It was a couple of hours ago now. And Andy Robertson ends up kicking the underneath of Danny Welbeck's boot purely by accident. Andy Robertson's going for the ball. Danny Welbeck's going for the ball. Danny Welbeck goes down on the ground, clutching himself, and they get the penalty. That is what happened. That is the run of events as I see it. Originally, I don't think it was given as a penalty. The referee didn't give a penalty. VAR looked at it. VAR then turned round to the referee and said, go and have a look at the monitor yourself, make your decision. He goes over to the monitor. When a referee goes over to the monitor, they're pretty much going to turn around and say, penalty. And he did, and I couldn't believe it. It was it was a well taken penalty by Pascal Gross, but it was just so unjust, in my opinion, really, really unjust. And I say that because I still think that Salah's goal should have stood, which would have meant that if everything played out exactly the same way as it did play out, even without Salah's goal, that if that was still allowed, if Salah's goal was allowed, we would have finished the game 2-1 and won the game. We deserved to win the game. We really did deserve to win the game. I'm not going to turn around and say everything went against us, but VAR did go against us. The referee's gone against us as well. We've lost Milner to what looks like a hamstring injury, and the guy's played 3 times, I think, in a week at the age of 33 or 34. Like, he's the same age as me, pretty much, and I am no way anywhere near the physical prowess of James Milner. So I can't even begin to understand what his body, his physical toll must feel like at this moment in time. Now, if I just want to have a quick look at the standings, not a great deal has changed. Obviously, the big teams haven't played yet. Tottenham, Chelsea, Leicester, none of them have played yet. We sit at the top of the table with 1 point over Tottenham. I can fully imagine, I think it's Tottenham-Chelsea tomorrow. Whatever happens in that game, if someone wins or someone loses or if it's a draw, we're not going to be sitting top tomorrow. That's just a fact. We should have picked up all 3 points. I fully felt we deserved all 3 points as well, but we didn't get them. So now we have to move on. We've got Ajax midweek in the Champions League. I'm not looking forward to it because I don't know what's going to happen in that game. I just don't. I remember the game that we had last time against Ajax. Very, very difficult, high pressing team. I can't believe that they didn't score against us. They had so many chances. They've had a good weekend in their league as well. Not looking forward to the game a great deal, as I said before. We won't be sitting top of the table tomorrow. That's just how it is. But if there is any positives that I can take out today, and why I waited this long at the time it is right now, just coming up to 8 o'clock. I waited this long because I wanted to see Everton get battered by Leeds, and that's exactly what happened. So I can be quite happy about that. Gutted, I'm happy we didn't lose the game. Brighton they were good. They were a very, very tough opponent for us. Really, really tough. They were tough last season as well in the 2-1 that we had as well. I think Alisson got sent off in one of the games at least anyway. But they've always been, recently they've been a tough team for us to face, and they were a very tough team today. The decisions don't come down to Brighton players. That's all on the referees, the VAR and everything like that. Now we've just got to sort of regroup somehow, and we've got to move on. That's all we can do. So yeah, it's flat. It's crap. Don't really know what else to say at this moment in time. Maybe a little bit more reflection. I didn't make a video straight away after the game as well because I was actually really angry because I just thought everything has gone against us, and I didn't want to come off like that, on a video. That's not what I want to do here anyway. But hey, it's maybe not necessarily an enjoyable video because obviously it's on the back of a game that feels like a loss, even though it was a draw in the end. It felt like a loss. It was heart-wrenching, honestly. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this game, everything that happened in it. It was a very controversial game in the end, and hopefully these controversies will one day end and things will get a little bit more consistent, but it just isn't there at the moment, and it just seems to be coming back to bite us quite a bit, to be fair. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you guys have a good weekend, whatever you're doing. Hope you can enjoy the rest of your weekend despite this draw as well. Don't let this result ruin your weekend. Get out there or stay inside like I do. I don't go outside. Find things that you can do that make you happy as well. That'd be absolutely excellent. Please do have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you later.